Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third episode of the Mason and Gress podcast show thing. I am Gomez.
I'm Russ.
All right, so we're just going to jump into Thursday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the Philadelphia Eagles 28-22. Leonard Fournette having a career game. He ran for 2 TDs, a little under 100 yards. He had 6 catches for 146 yards. Richard Sherman getting hurt. He had a hamstring injury, but I think he'll be back next week. Brady, being Brady, 34 for 42, almost 300 yards, 2 TDs, and a pick. And I guess taunting penalties were a huge thing in this game, at least for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts also trying to mount a comeback and did not do it. The score is closer than it actually is. The Buccaneers run away with this game, and then the Eagles just trying to make the highlight reel, I guess. Mason, thoughts for this game?
That's kind of what I would pick up on. I feel like this game, the score is closer than it really should have been. The Buccaneers are one of the most complete teams in the league. The Eagles are, for the most part, not very talented. Developing talent. But Buccaneers are a way better team. So props to the Eagles for keeping it close.
Props to Jalen Hurts, the future MVP. All right, so we're gonna get into this game, the first game in London. The 1-4 Dolphins playing the 0-5 Jacksonville Jags. Mason, what do you have about this game here?
I think it'll be a relatively close game. Two teams that are trying to compete, trying to win.
Especially with Tua
I think,
coming back.
yes, with Tua coming back, I think the Dolphins will have the edge. But it'll really test how healthy Tua is.
Yeah.
If he's not healthy, the Jags have a chance to win this because they can take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But
this will
it'll also
be
be a nice game to get going again.
yeah, oh, absolutely. This will be a good test for Tua. Like I said before we were recording, I think if Tua loses this game, Jacoby Brissett, he gets the start next week. I don't think the difference between these two is very large. If anything, they're closer than what most people think. I think Jacoby Brissett is the better quarterback, but Tua is still very young. So some injuries for this game. Xavier Howard, he is out, as well as Devontae Parker. And then Rashad Coward, he is out, as well as Miles Jack for the Jags. Jags without their leader on defense. I think Dolphins, they get the win here. Jags go 0-6.
I also agree. I got the Dolphins in this one too.
All right. So next game on the schedule is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Washington Football Team. I really hope we get a new name for this team soon because I hate calling them the football team. Next week. Here's hoping. All right.
It's actually kind of a joke, but no, it's a joke, but
I hope so. I hope it happens. All right, so the Kansas City Chiefs have one of the worst defenses in the NFL, ranked 31. They are not that much better than the Seattle Seahawks, that is for sure. Patrick Mahomes, the turnover machine this season. I think he's thrown for 12 picks so far. Is it Taylor Heineke? Yeah, I know it's Heineke for sure. Heineke has the opportunity to pick up a big win this season against the Chiefs. This is kind of a important game for the Chiefs, though. If they want to even be considered to be a team in the playoffs, they have to beat these teams that they're expected to beat. What are your thoughts, Mason?
Yeah, I agree with your take on that. This is a game where the Chiefs need to rebound, get their season together. This is a win they should have. Washington has a really good D line though, so I'd like to see how they match up against the Chiefs O line.
Absolutely. It'll be
But
fun to
I
see.
expect the Chiefs to win.
It'll be fun to see Chase Young running towards Patrick Mahomes, though. I think Chase Young gets
And
like 2
Montez
sacks this
Sweat,
game. Yeah,
another
and
guy,
Montez Sweat.
super
Yep,
fast.
that D line is nasty. So some big names out for this game. Chris Jones, I think he's been out for a couple of weeks now. Curtis Samuel for the Washington football team will not be playing. Antonio Gibson is actually questionable, so that is important. And then Cam Sims, he is not playing as well. Scary Terry didn't participate in practice though, so I don't know. That is actually pretty interesting. We'll see. I think without Terry, Heineke is in trouble. But yeah, Chiefs get the win against the football team. I think it's gonna be a close game. I people are expecting a blowout, which is insane. This game will be close.
An odd thing, I don't normally bring jersey retirements in. I don't think we ever have. But with Sean Taylor's jersey getting retired,
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
think maybe you have some extra momentum in the stadium, and I think it's one of the reasons why they chose this Sunday for that.
That is a fun detail. I forgot about that.
But I'm still gonna pick the Chiefs to win this game.
The Chiefs to win. All right. So next game on the schedule here, we have the LA Rams playing against the New York Giants. Rams being 4-1. I say if they don't win this game, then I think the first quarter of the season for them has been kind of sus. Rams have the second best. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. If you lose against a team like the New York Giants, especially, I don't think Daniel Jones, he is. Oh boy.
I think he's still questionable.
Yeah, he is. I'm trying to find him on this report here. Weird. There he is. He participated in practice, but his game status, it's not telling me. It's not telling me his game status.
I'd imagine it's still game time. They're gonna have to see how he feels, I'd imagine.
Interesting.
But if he practiced, then he's probably recovered from the concussion, which is the main issue.
So I guess it's a matter of, do they start a quarterback against a scary defense that the Rams have, or do you just let him rest another week? If I was the Giants, let the long neck start. Don't start Daniel Jones. Let the boy rest. You will get him killed. Aaron Donald, he is hungry. So some big names out for the Giants. Kenny Golladay, he is out, as well as Saquon out with his ankle injury. So hopefully he comes back on the field soon for those fantasy people. Yeah, the Rams look healthy. I think the Rams steamroll the Giants. What are your thoughts, Mason?
I agree. Hopefully Stafford puts up those MVP numbers I expect.
Okay. Hell yeah.
The Giants are just too talent deprived right now offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Because even some of their other receivers are semi-injured.
Yeah.
And defensively, I don't really have a lot of talent. So I think the Rams, and I think the Rams should. I would expect them to put up points and be pretty effective in this game.
The Giants do have good players on defense, but just not enough to really lead them to victory, I'd say.
Oh, Bradbury. Bradbury's a good corner.
Bradbury's fun. All right, next up, we have the Houston Texans playing against the Indianapolis Colts. Colts losing a very, very heartbreaking game on Monday to the Ravens. And then the Texans losing to the Patriots in a very close game as well. I think this is the first divisional matchup for the Colts and Texans. You know what? I think I could be wrong. I think the Texans play the Titans. Or crap.
Yeah, one of them played.
The
Titans played one of those two. Yeah.
The Titans played the Jags last week.
Yep,
okay.
Jags, yep.
So this is the first divisional matchup for either team. I think the Colts. Oh, the Colts, I think they beat the Texans here, but I think Mason has something from this game that he would like to share.
Well, I'm excited to see Ty come back. Ty, and then the kicking is honestly going to be something that's questionable too. With their kicker going on the IR, picking up a new kicker.
Oh yeah,
Kicking is a very important part in the NFL.
very so, very much so.
That was showing last week.
Oh yeah, what was it? 13 field goals or no, it was like, oh gosh, 13 field
It
goals and
was
11 extra
basically
points
a
or something like
combined
that.
20 kicks of some sort
Yeah,
being missed,
it was
which is
insane,
insane.
insane
Most
amount.
since 2016, I think, if I remember right.
Creates a lot of drama. That is for sure.
Yeah,
So some big
but
names. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. No, you go. I was just gonna throw my pick out, but you go.
Oh, okay. So, big names out for the Texans: Laramie Tunsil, and then Deshaun Watson. He is still out, and he will probably not play for the rest of the season. So expect that. And then for the Colts, of course, Rodrigo, Jordan Wilkins, and Braden Smith will not be playing. Um,
Quentin
NFL.
Nelson, I think, still on is on IR too.
Who is?
I think Quentin Nelson's still injured.
Nelson. I
I
don't.
think they put him on the IR.
Oh crap! Yeah, I don't see him on this injury report, so we'll go with what you say. I think this game will be close, though. I think this will be a close game. Most divisional games are close, except if you're the Jags, then expect the blowout. Yeah, Colts go on to be 2-4. I think their record does not truly represent how good this team is. Most of the losses that the Colts have suffered have been close games, so there is that.
I'm probably most impressed too with their offensive line, especially after last week. Those guys stepping up for Pro Bowl players and just acting like they're Pro Bowl players. It was impressive. The run game, the screen game, that was effective last week, and I'd imagine that would continue against the Texans too.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Colts. I think they kind of like rebound their season, kind of similar to like the Chiefs. They're gonna
Colt
get stuff together, win games.
Colt up is what the kids like to say.
I don't know if that's what they like to say.
They should. All right, so next game on the schedule is the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Detroit Lions. Bengals 3-2, Lions 0-5. So some big names out for the Bungles. Dante Smith, really the only player out for the Bengals. And then as far as Lions go, you have some people who are questionable, like DeAndre Swift and Trey Flowers, but I am sure both will start tomorrow. Do you have anything for the Bengals and Lions, Mason?
Two I'd like to point out quick. Trey Flowers making his debut most likely. I think that'll be exciting for their defense. I don't know how much he'll do. Burrow coming back for sure playing. I mean, he was kind of questionable after hurting his throw last week. And I know we touched on it in the past, but Detroit putting their center on the IR, I think that'll have an effect on this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Joe Burrow, he will start. He is fine. Jamar Chase, he will be rookie of the year. I can't remember who I picked initially, but I'm changing it now because I can. Jamar Chase will win rookie of the year. He is playing so good, so good. Him and Joe Burrow is giving me AJ Green and Carson Palmer vibes. Like it's crazy. A lot of fun to watch.
Dalton, you mean?
Yes, that is what I meant. Oh no, you know what? What I meant was Carson Palmer and Ocho Cinco. That I like that better. AJ Green.
They're all pretty good duos, honestly, though.
It's not fair. Cincinnati has these good QB wide receiver combos, and they just can't do anything with it.
I was gonna say it's a trade-off of missing the playoffs. You get your duo. You still get your playoffs.
Anyways, Bengals, Bungles, they beat the Lions. I think this game will be close. I feel so bad for Jared Goff. He is trying everything that he can, but it's the curse of Detroit. The only way the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl is if they move to another state. I think that's just how it's gonna be. All right, so we're still good. Everything is still okay. We're moving on to the next game on the schedule. The Packers playing the Chicago Bears. Go Bears. This is possibly one of the last times that Aaron Rodgers will play the Bears as a divisional rival. So there's that. Mason, do you have the head?
21-5.
Okay, cool. So
I gotta remember.
he has it memorized. Aaron Rodgers has only lost to the Bears 5 times. That is nutty. That has to be one of the best records against a divisional opponent. Actually, it would be fun to see who has the best. I think Brady. Realistically, Brady probably has the best.
Probably Brady.
Yeah. Damn that
The
man.
AFC East is Brady's team. He runs the AFC East. Even if he's not there, he still runs it. I mean, he beat the Dolphins.
That's a damn shame. Ooh, wait. Does that mean do the Bucks play the Bills this year?
I'd imagine at some point because they played the Patriots and the Dolphins.
That would be fun. That's a super. That's probably a Super Bowl matchup. Probably. If the Ravens don't lose in the wild card again this year, but we'll see. All right, so some big names out for the Packers. Kevin King, the corner, and then Dennis Kelsey, the tackle. He is doubtful. And then for the Bears, Caleb Johnson, their defensive tackle. Khalil Mack is questionable. He did not participate in practice, but it's divisional games. Players are going to be healthy out of nowhere. Very, very important. This will be a big test for Justin Fields as well, winning on the road against the Raiders last week. If the Bears beat the Packers, both will be 4-2, and Chicago I think will be first in the NFC North, which is interesting. This Bears team, kind of confusing, the same as the Saints to me.
Yeah,
but
better long-term success though.
Yeah. It'll be fun though. I think the Packers beat the Bears. Most of the time these games are kind of one-sided. I think this one is close. Actually, I'm curious. As far as defense, the Packers have the 6th best defense, Bears 8th. Oh, however, the Bears have the worst offense in the NFL, so I don't know. This will be interesting. Rankings can be deceiving.
Definitely.
But I think the Packers win. Unfortunately.
I'll take the Packers this one also. Another tidbit to throw out there. Devontae's on pace for almost 2,000 receiving yards.
That's right, yeah.
So that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That he could beat Megatron's record this year.
That is... I remember when Calvin Johnson broke that record that Jerry Rice had, and people were like, that's something that will never, that record will never be broken. And here we are. And
possible
in the same division as well. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. All right. So we are moving on to the next game in the schedule. It is the 4-1 Chargers playing the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going to let Mason take over. Mason?
I'm excited for this potential MVP matchup. 2 very, very good quarterbacks. Very effective at passing the ball. You got Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, good receivers on that side. Austin Eckler, I'm very concerned for him playing the Ravens because he's good at the screens. He's good at receiving. It's one of the Ravens' weaknesses. Patrick Queen's not very good at tackling this year. But I think Lamar and Hollywood's on pace for like 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns this year.
Has he broke 1,000 receiving yards before?
I don't think so. But he normally doesn't play very healthy. So this year, like he goes out and he's not on the bench a lot because of injuries. This is probably his most complete year. Aside from Detroit dropping passes, he's been very good this year. So those two together, hopefully the defense gets it together. But on the other side, the offensive line's got to worry about Joey Bosa. I mean, he's a
Joey
very good
Bosa.
player. He's a very good player.
If they handled Joey Bosa like they handled Von Miller, they're in trouble.
Yeah, that is
uh,
very true. And
uh,
that's what the offensive coordinator said this week. He said, you got to treat Bosa the same way you treat Von Miller. You need to try and pay attention to where he's at. A couple moves for this game quick. They activated Phillips and Rashad Bateman, the rookie, off IR. Phillips should start. Bateman will see some snaps, which is cool to see the rookie play. And then Le'Veon from the practice squad will be fun at the running game. Hopefully they get something going there. If they're going to win, they need to get their run game going.
that's right.
But I'm going to be a Ravens homer and pick the Ravens. Very, very close game. I wouldn't even be surprised if Tucker has to hit a decently long kick to win it.
All right. You know, I I agree. I think the Ravens beat the Chargers just because that'd be great for the Broncos. Also, the Ravens, they are hosting the Chargers, so Chargers have to travel all the way from LA to Baltimore. So that itself is pretty exhausting. Chargers have the third best passing defense or passing offense. And I don't know where their defense is at right now. They won a high scoring game against the Browns last week in LA, and I think it's more of the same this weekend. I think it's going to be a high scoring battle. Baltimore wins by a field goal.
Another guy you got to point out too is Derwin. Derwin's playing very well this year.
James.
He could actually get in comeback player of the year running too.
A lot of players, a lot of great players making great comebacks. That's what we like to see.
Very good.
Huge fan of that. All right, Mason.
Actually, too, did you touch on some injuries? I think you missed out on a couple here.
I did. I didn't cover the injuries yet. You're right. So injuries real quick for the Chargers at Baltimore. So Mike Williams is questionable for the game. He did not participate in practice. Drew Tranquil, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, linebacker.
He is out for the game. He will not be playing for the Chargers. Ravens, Sammy Watkins will be out for the game, as well as Ronnie Stanley, the tackle. He's been battling a ankle injury.
Yeah, he hasn't played since week 1. He hasn't healed up from his injury last week.
More injuries for the Ravens, however, and these guys are probably game time decisions. Justin Houston, Pernell McPhee,
I imagine those
Williams,
are just vet days.
Calais Campbell.
Vet day, in my opinion.
I bet these guys start. They were probably using their veteran days. However, if these guys are out of the game, it'll be really tough covering Austin Eckler. But yeah, Baltimore, I think they win by 3 points. Mason staying with the home team. Also, Ravens. Okay, so next game on the schedule here, big one. Cardinals 5-0 playing against the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland will be without their head coach, as well as Nick Chubb. Two key pieces here. Vance Joseph and who?
You did the opposite. You mean the Cardinals head coach and the Browns?
Oh
Nick
yeah,
Chubb.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Whoops. Yeah, so Cardinals without their head coach, so Vance Joseph and I think their OC will be splitting head coach duties, which is pretty funny. Zach Ertz not playing obviously this week because he was traded earlier in the week for a 5th round pick, I believe. Was it
in the corner?
In a corner, yeah.
I think it was a 5th. Is it a 4th or a 5th in the corner?
I think it was a 5th because I'm like, why not just get a 4th? But anyways, So big names besides that,
Center.
Rodney Hudson. Yep, he is out.
Yep.
Did not participate in practice, as well as Tanner Vallejo. I don't think he starts, but depth is very important in the league. So without that, um, you're not going to win a lot of games. The Browns, however, um, they have a long list of outs and questionables. So Nick Chubb, big one, will not be playing, which means a big opportunity for Kareem
Kareem
Hunt,
Hunt.
not Kareem Jackson. Kareem Hunt hopefully can make a big thing out of this game. Chandler Jones, I think, is also out this weekend.
Yep. So on COVID
So
list.
JJ Watt gonna get a
Zach Allen too on the D line. COVID list also.
Mhm. So
I don't know if
Cardinals
he's a starter or not.
Cardinals are in trouble. I think the last unbeaten team goes down this week. I think they lose to the Browns. What do you think, Mason?
I honestly still like Kyler Murray and the Cardinals to win. I mean, I know it's hard to go against not having a coach, and also Kareem Hunt will be pretty effective, I imagine.
Even
But I don't know. I just feel like the Cardinals will find a way.
even
They
letting
seem like a very resilient team, though.
even letting or sorry, uh they beat the 49ers by 7 points, and they had a
Yeah,
backup
but I just feel
rookie
like that was
quarterback.
because of a divisional game. I think that's just a divisional kind of
Sure,
close
I'm
game. And if I remember right, someone had some key drops. I can't remember who, but I thought there was a couple drops.
I don't know. Um
I got the Cardinals still. I mean, Kyler Murray's on a different level this year. I think he's resilient enough to find a way.
I just think there's a lot of questionables for both teams, but I think
Agreed.
the Browns have a better defense. I think this will be the biggest defense or the hardest defense that the Cardinals have played against all year. Um, that defense, however, not showing up last week and losing in the last second. So I don't know. I think the Browns, however, beat up on the Cardinals. I think they win by 14. There we go. Browns win by 14. Mason picks the Cards. That's all right. All right. So the next game on this list here, we have the Dallas Cowboys playing against the New England Patriots. Do you have any fun facts about this game, Mason?
I mean, I just like to see how if Diggs continues his pace for his interceptions. I'd love to see him break the record.
That would be fun. Night Train Lane having
So
that interception record. It was what, 15?
since 1952, it's 1952.
Wow, 20?
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy. Different times back
No,
then
no,
though.
no. I think actually,
I think it
no.
was
I think it's
15.
14. Yeah, it's 14, but Diggs is on pace for 20, is what it is.
We're gonna look it up real quick. 14. Yep. Um, he had 68
It was the
total in his
opposite.
career. That's crazy.
Yep.
Imagine Night Train Lane in today's league. Do you think he still holds
Well,
that record? Probably
he'd be
not.
penalized a lot because he was known as kind of a Mel Blunt, Rod Woodson kind of guy.
Hmm.
So I don't think he would hold up the same. I think he'd be penalized a lot.
Interesting to see how much the game has changed since the
Agreed.
1960s. Very interesting. So some injuries here for the Cowboys. Dorrance Armstrong, the only one that is out. We have some players who did not participate or were limited in practice. Nothing too crazy though. All of these guys, except for Dorrance, will start tomorrow. Patriots, however, they will not have Sean Wade, their corner, and Shaq Mason, the guard. He will not be playing.
But Isaiah Wynn's coming back from COVID, as far as I've seen.
Okay, so that will be good for the Patriots. I don't think that will be enough though. I'm riding the boys hype train. The boys beat the Patriots in Foxborough by like 30. I don't think. I think Diggs gets 2 picks this game against Mac Jones. It's not
I
fair.
honestly wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys win. I agree. I've even seen some people put Dak Prescott in the MVP conversation already.
I know. I think we were talking about that last episode too. I just,
So,
what is
I'd
the
like to see that.
what was the schedule strength for the Cowboys before going into this season?
I'm honestly not too sure.
I don't
I
think.
don't. I don't think it was that challenging. I think it's the Steelers that have like the hardest schedule this year.
Yeah, that I do know. I think that their schedule strength has been like middle of the road. They haven't played a lot of good teams besides the Buccaneers, and they only lost by a field goal, I think, or was it like
And
4
also
points?
that being the first game of the year, that's always kind of
Yeah.
you can't really hang your hat on a game like that because it's like you got to see how teams go as evolve as it goes throughout the year.
It'll be interesting to see when the Cowboys play more divisional opponents too. Um,
Hmm.
they beat the Giants pretty handedly. But the most interesting matchup for that division is the Washington football team and the Cowboys. That will be a good game.
Agreed.
But yeah, I have the Cowboys beating the Patriots. What say you?
Yeah, the Cowboys do like similar results. Like expect Cowboys to win by a decent amount.
All right. So this is my game to call here. This is
Mhm.
America's game of the week here. We have a classic AFC West rivalry. We have the Las Vegas Raiders playing against the Denver Broncos. A Denver Bronco future Hall of Famer Mike Shanahan will be honored at halftime. The two-time Super Bowl champ back to back. Both of these teams are pretty healthy for the most part. The only player that will not be playing will be Mike Ford. Melvin Gordon is questionable, as well as Kareem Jackson, but I think they both play tomorrow. Raiders, obviously, without their head coach, John Gruden, because, he's not in the league anymore for great reasons. Broncos beat the Raiders, but it's a close game. This is another big game for the Broncos that they absolutely have to win. If they don't win, they would have dropped 3 straight. And with this division being so close right now, this is just something that they cannot. This is a game they cannot lose. What say you, Mason?
I agree. I think this is a game. Kind of like I said with Colts, Chiefs. I think this may be a game where they kind of get things together again. Probably getting back Jerry Judy in the next week or so.
Yeah, he
I think
probably comes
it will
back
be
next
nice.
week. Yeah.
I think this team will start to get things together again. I'm
Uh,
intrigued to see how much they use John Brown, picking him up from the practice,
that's right.
putting him
Yeah.
on the practice squad, elevating him this week.
He'll
I like John Brown as a former Raven,
he'll probably have a
so
couple of snaps, but nothing too crazy unless if he somehow manages to have a
yeah.
great game. Um it's it's always interesting whenever these two play. It's always been close, especially in the last couple of years. Raiders swept the Broncos a couple of years ago. I think it was last year actually. In a very interesting season. Uh,
There was a lot of injuries for the Broncos last year,
yeah,
though.
yeah, we were pretty beat up, but we're healthy now. There's no excuses, especially without them having their head coach. I've picked
Hmm.
Denver every single week, and the streak will continue. Broncos beat the Raiders by 60. All right.
I agree. Broncos in this one too. I don't think it's by 60 though.
I
Maybe a bit
I
much.
mean it's they probably win by like a Brandon McManus field goal.
Most likely.
Yeah, it'll be a big game for Teddy too. Great leader
And
in the
two
locker room.
clubs.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Gotta add that every episode.
Love Teddy Two Gloves. That's a great nickname. Okay,
No, what we're
so
gonna do for the Broncos bye week.
I don't know. Broncos win.
We can incorporate that.
Broncos win. All right, so this is a interesting Sunday night football game. We have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, Mason, what do you have here for the Steelers and Seahawks?
Juju's out. Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, all three on IR. Uh, I'm very intrigued to see how Geno Smith does. If he doesn't succeed, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they go after Cam Newton.
My boy.
He he last week that he or earlier today, I think even actually that he got vaccinated and he's ready to make a return to the league. And I think if Seattle wants to save their season, it makes a lot of sense.
That's a good point. Um, Geno Smith, though, people are still sleeping on his performance on Thursday Night Football last week. Um, he's now had time with the starters, a lot of reps with the
True.
starters.
Very important thing.
Geno, I want him to do good, and I think he'll have the opportunity to do good on Sunday Night Football. If he wants to have any chance of starting again in this league after Russell comes back.
True.
Big Ben looking great against the Broncos on Sunday. And then the second half started, and then he didn't look as good. So some big names for the Steelers that are out besides Juju is Carlos Davis. Besides that, though, the Steelers team is healthy. Both teams are pretty healthy except for, Russ and Chris Carson. I think the Seahawks, they strive and survive. I think they beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football.
I honestly think the Steelers win. I think the Seahawks are a little bit too underprepared, like as far as talent and offense. I mean, Chris Carson, I don't think he's a great running back in the league, but he's a pretty reliable starter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind Alex Collins taking over as a starter, most likely. I like Alex Collins, former Raven, but I don't think he's nearly the player Chris Carson is. And I just, concerned that Geno Smith, how well he'll do. Wish him the best, but
Man,
I think Steelers will win.
I'm going for the underdog here. I will always root for the underdog. So for Monday Night Football, we have the Buffalo Bills, the kings of the AFC, playing against the Tennessee Titans. So for the most part, the Bills are pretty healthy. You did have there are some players who did not participate in practice, Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, but I'm sure those two will start on Monday. Star Latulele, he did not practice as well as Jerry Hughes. Like I said, I think these guys will be fine for Monday. Julio
Some of
Jones.
them might be red days because I know that I think they practice again on Sunday
Mhm.
or a walkthrough, so maybe those guys just got Saturday off.
I wish this injury report would tell me if they were taking their veteran days because like without that information I don't know, it's
A
it
lot of the actual team sites will do that. They'll say not injury related is what it'll say,
right.
but I don't think the NFL as a whole gets that.
One silver lining for the Titans in this game, Julio Jones comes back. He participated in practice, so that will be a great break for AJ Brown. He does not have to be relied on as much. However, there are some players out. Christian Fulton, he will not be playing, as well as Monty Rice. Besides that, though, Titans looking pretty healthy. I think Julio does Julio things. He has a big game, but the Titans lose. Ryan Tannehill looking very, very average this season. But I guess that's just Ryan Tannehill in a nutshell in the last couple of years. Yeah, I think the Bills beat up on the Titans pretty badly.
I think the Bills are one of the best teams in the league, and I think that continues. Uh, Defensively, I feel like they're probably a better team, and I'd argue outside of like the receiving set for the Titans, the Bills have the better overall offense too.
I
So
I
I'm picking the
guess
Bills.
I guess the thing to watch here though is the wide receiver matchup. AJ
Hmm.
Brown, a very physical receiver, and of course Julio, the speedster.
Yeah, the Bills really only have the one corner in Tre'Davious.
Um, however, I will say this: Buffalo playing against Derrick Henry. I have doubted this Titans team even with praising Derrick Henry, and I've paid for it.
True.
I'm sticking to my guns on this one though.
I feel like
Derrick,
the Bills also have a really underrated pass rush this year, so that'll play a part in it too.
yeah, the Bills have the best defense in the NFL right now. And that isn't possible without all sides of the ball functioning well, and without each member of the defense doing their jobs properly. That does not happen. Um, I think Ryan Tannehill just has he just has a hard time. He will have a hard time against the Bills, and it's just it's the same thing as the Buccaneers. I think the Bills are pretty complete all around. Um, it's crazy. I do think the Bills and Bucks meet up in the Super Bowl though, so it'll be fun to watch that game later in the season. However, the Titans did beat the Bills last year. That was their last meeting, actually, in October as well. So they're a very different team than they were last year. I think Bills beat the
Excellent.
Titans 42-16. Do you have anything else to say when we since we're wrapping this up?
Did you touch on the Vikings and Panthers game?
Oh no,
The
you know
second
what? I
time we
missed out.
recorded
That
it.
is the one game I.
I was
So
just looking at the list and trying
yeah,
to keep tabs on
yeah,
stuff,
I'm
and I was
like,
like, I think we missed on
I
that.
had that on. So, fun fact for the people that are watching this. Normally we live stream these, but since it's pretty late, we just decided to record it. We've tried recording this 3 different times, and each time it just wouldn't go past a minute. And we're doing okay now. It's recording. Everything is fine. And I missed out on the Vikings and
Panthers.
Panthers. All right, so we'll cover the Vikings and Panthers real quick. We're doing great on time too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so Minnesota Vikings playing the Carolina Panthers. A few injuries for the Vikings and Panthers real quick. Anthony Barr is questionable, as well as Justin Jefferson, and Everson Griffin. Oh, okay. Everson Griffin will probably be a game time decision. Dalvin Cook, he will play. Harrison Smith will. He was limited in practice, but I'm sure he'll be fine. And then for the Panthers, they will be without Shaq Thompson, CMC placed on the IR. And then really that's it. Both teams have not been playing well the last couple of weeks. Only reason why Minnesota won last week was because of a very un-Viking like thing, and that was to kick a field goal to win the game. Kirk Cousins trying his best. Minnesota just kind of all over the place as far as rankings. Carolina, kind of in the same boat. However, they have the second best defense in the league, and they've been struggling without their key player in Christian McCaffrey. The rookie though, was it Chuba Hubbard?
Yeah. Chuba
Played,
Hubbard.
yep. He played really well last week. I think he had over 100 rushing yards. Sam Darnold, I got his name right this week. Sam Darnold looking uh, last 2 weeks. I think Minnesota wins this in a un-Viking like fashion by a field goal in the last seconds of the game. What do you think, Mason?
I think this game's gonna come down to the quarterbacks. Whoever does better will win, but I still feel pretty confident about the Panthers. I like their defense, their receivers, and Chuba Hubbard's honestly come in and done pretty good. I mean, I really liked him coming into the league. Didn't expect him to be this important this early, but I think he's able to step up and Panthers win.
Mason and I not agreeing on a lot of picks this week. This is
One of
interesting.
us gonna be right, one's gonna be wrong.
Yeah, nice. It'd be interesting to see. I'll have to tally my picks for the last couple of weeks because I have not been doing that. Um,
I've
I
been
think
keeping track since the beginning of the year.
I think I'm under 500. That is for sure. A lot of my picks have not gone my way, and that's because I haven't been practical. I'm like, I see things going that are not really likely, but that's okay.
I
Um,
got like 20 wrong on the year.
you've got 20 wrong on the
Yeah.
year.
Nope. 21 to be exact. Pretty good.
So Mason, if he was to make the playoffs, would be the very last slot. He would be the 7th seed. All right, before we wrap this episode up, anything you'd like to say, Mason?
If we're good on time, you want to touch on like maybe updated like awards thoughts? Just maybe your quick thoughts on
Mm,
changing some of them. Like for me, I mean, I want to definitely jump on the Parsons Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think that's definitely well deserved how he's playing this year.
mm-hmm.
Versatile piece.
Um, yeah, we could definitely do that. So you said Parsons for Rookie of the Year.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, yeah.
Yep.
I'm still gonna go with Harris for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yes, Chase is doing great, but I believe Harris is a different player. He's gonna get it together and continue to improve.
Um, I think everything is still the same. So MVP is like it is crazy. Like we said last episode, um, MVP the race for MVP is so close. It's the closest it's been in like 10 years. It is crazy how good
There's like 5 to 10 players that
and
could win. Yeah,
by MVP, it is this year. I think it will belong to the quarterback this year. I think that's pretty obvious. It'll have to take some strong performances from like if Devontae Adams breaks 2,000 receiving yards, I don't think that will be enough for him to win MVP.
agreed.
Which is unfortunate because I think even when Calvin broke the single season receiving record, I think that he broke the. Did he break the reception record as well?
I'm not sure, but I know he. I'm pretty sure he broke that record the same year AP broke.
Mm.
Almost broke the rushing record.
Man, that was a great
I'm
season.
pretty sure.
That was such a fun season. Minnesota Viking AP is the best AP.
Hmm.
That's that
I'm
season.
surprised he's not on a team right now.
Yeah, well, there's so many good running backs now, and the running back game is so different too. It really relies on speed more than it's ever had. However, you still have those power backs. Javonte Williams for sure. Um,
Definitely
he
impressed me with the Ravens
yeah
that game.
played great against the Steelers last week. He will be the starter next year for sure, if not by the end of the season. Melvin Gordon is on his way out. Um, yeah, I think most of my picks are the same. Offensive player of the year. If he doesn't win MVP, probably Dak. Dak for sure. If Dak can't win 2 awards, it's either comeback player of the year or offensive player of the year.
Well, unless he puts up good enough stats, they give him MVP and come back player of the year. I imagine.
I don't think that's fair. That's not fair. I
I
think
don't
you
know if
should
it's
win
great, but I'm just
just
saying.
max 1 award. That's the rule I'm making.
I think the two I really want to touch on. I honestly think I want to get on the Lamar hype train for MVP, just because
Lamar for
his
MVP.
stats are actually better than what they were in 2019, basically already.
Hmm.
Through the first like 4 or 5 games, his stats are actually better overall,
You
or
said
very similar.
he won MVP in 2019.
Yes, his passing stats this year though are just it just impresses me because in 2019 when he won, it was rushing. But this year, what he's doing in the passing game, I think, is impressing a lot of people, and I think people who vote will see that.
I've heard some talk.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, I think that'll get some of the vote getters to think about it. Like, dude, this guy we wanted as a runner, basically, and now he's passing, and it's kind of like what he's doing for the team, you know?
Right.
If Lamar was not on this team, they would not be anywhere near where they're at.
Yeah, they'd be an 8-9 team at best. Um,
Honestly,
I've heard some talk about Tom Brady possibly winning MVP this year, and
yeah, I
that
like
that
that too.
that 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 is that is that is
At
crazy too.
44, it's incredible.
I thought it was crazy when Peyton won his MVP. Um, and I think he only won it once. As the Broncos QB. Um, but
That year he put up the same numbers.
55 touchdowns and 13 picks or something like that. But yeah, no, it's crazy to for Tom Brady to be playing at such a high level still. It's unfair. Um, I demand a drug test on Tom Brady right now. No, it's impressive. For years, I despised Brady. Not because he was on the Patriots, but just it's there's no way that a player can be so consistent at and getting older, and he keeps winning. It's crazy. Now you just gotta respect it. You can't hate the man's game. You just gotta just bask in it. Like we won't as much as we think we will not have him forever. The ending is coming. We just don't know when. And the league
I give
without
it like 3 years max.
Max.
Yeah, I think three. Max high end is 5. He won't go past
I
48,
this
49.
so I think if the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl this year, they don't win it the third straight year. They don't be the Bucks are they are not becoming a dynasty. Let's get
They're too much of a team that has age with them.
yeah they rely
They'd have to rotate and recycle players if they
right.
really wanted to be a
And
dynasty, and I don't see it.
let's see if Tom Brady was to retire next year. Um, I think I'm just
I
looking.
just wonder if he wants to become the oldest player ever.
Is Vinatieri the oldest player? Did Brady
I
beat
think
up
it's still
Vinatieri?
George Blanda.
George Blanda.
Blanda was 48.
Brady's 44.
Yeah. I just don't know if he has 4 years left in him.
You know what will make
Because
me
you have to
upset?
assume his talent is literally going to have to, it's going to start declining. There's no way he's going to.
It's I do like what the Bucks have done. They re-signed basically everybody back.
Mm-hmm.
Just for Tom Brady. I think if Brady wasn't on that team, they would be gone. They would be going to different places. But if Brady was to retire now, Blaine Gabbert would be next. Blaine Gabbert has already had his spot in the light, right? Starting quarterback for the Jags. Not good. But, can you blame that so much on him? I think you blame that on Jacksonville.
Probably. I think if he's still hanging around the league, he's either going to be a career backup or he's going to get a chance eventually somewhere.
It will be interesting though. So say if the Bucks do keep Blaine Gabbert, they still have Kyle Trask, dude out of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Pretty
I
successful quarterback from what I've heard.
oh yeah, Kyle Trask, fun to watch in college. I think I watched some plays of him in preseason. Nothing too crazy, but I bet that dude is taking notes on Tom Brady and what he does. It's always fun watching what these rookie quarterbacks do under like veterans like Tom Brady or like
Legendary players.
yeah legends, literal legends. So
Mm-hmm.
and it's frustrating to see those quarterbacks not pan out well. So like Brock, for instance, career backup to Peyton Manning, and he saves the Broncos season and he leaves to the Texans, and then he gets traded to the Browns, comes back to Denver, and then we cut him. So Brock Osweiler, such a sad story. I don't know. Very interesting though. The league without Tom Brady is going to be a sad one for sure for some people. For me, be different. Definitely a next generation kind of thing. But yeah, we're closing in on an hour. Have anything to say?
Oh, I've very successful podcast, and we helped out our time, so it's ideal.
Um, yeah, this one is not only is it the shortest, but I think we're starting to find our stride as far as what important things to say or what things to touch up on. So if anybody watching, if you have any recommendations or any suggestions, definitely just type it out in the comments section. We are open to criticism. That is the only way we can get better. And be honest. Just don't be mean. Okay.
Yeah, be
Don't,
nice about
don't be
it.
don't be mean or rude. Just tell it as it is. But remember, we're people too. Um, but yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Or questions too. Definitely,
Yes.
post questions. We'll
Oh,
comment back and
absolutely. Um,
or touch on it on a new video when we're doing our next one if we see more questions.
yep. And this just won't be Mason and I as well. I mean, it'll be him and I, but we'll try and have a couple of guests in the next. I'd say we'll just do it between us for the next couple of weeks, but after that we'll try and have a guest on, maybe one of a Dunkel Productions kind. Who knows? Um, but yeah, all right, y'all. We will see you next week. Let us aim for Tuesday. We will probably live stream that one. We will recap Sunday and Monday's game. Who won, who lost, and why the Broncos will make the Super Bowl. All right, everybody. We will see you next week. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.